Verbs are the action in a language. They have a base form called the infinitive form. In English, we put the word to in front to make the infinitive. To walk, to eat. However, when we actually use the verb, we had to change it. Watch some changes. I walk, she walks, she walked, she is walking. These changes are called conjugating a verb. The rules to conjugate verbs in Spanish are a difficult part of learning the language. However, the rules are incredibly consistent compared to English. And we're going to help you by simplifying as much as possible. Spanish infinitive verbs have three types of endings based on the two letters at the end of the word. We have AR, verbs, ER, verbs, and IR, verbs. These categories determine what changes we make to the verb to conjugate them. To begin, we'll only conjugate verbs in the present tense. The present tense is for things that are happening now or a current state or a normal action or general truth. Also, for now, we'll only change the verb only after talking about ourselves using the word I. This is called the first person singular. I do something. I in Spanish is yo. So today, we're going to say things like I speak, I eat. To conjugate Spanish verbs in the present tense when speaking about ourselves, we do the same thing to each verb category. We simply remove the last two letters and add the letter O.
Hablo. Como. Vivo.
It's a very simple change. I always remember that the verbs gets an O for I because yo ends in an O. You probably noticed we didn't use two words to say I speak, or I eat, or I live. It's not necessary in Spanish to say the word I, because the verb change is unique and everyone knows you're talking about yourself when you make this change to the word. However, there's nothing wrong using the word I with the verb.
Yo hablo. Yo como. Yo vivo.
It means the same thing. And also, using the word yo before the verb can mean you're stressing that you specifically do the action in the sentence. You learned 6 verbs that we introduced in our first 50 vocabulary words video. We just conjugated 3 of them for the present tense first person singular. Press pause now, and you try this one on your own.
Estudio. Yo estudio.
That's how you say, I study. Great job. Now press pause and try this one. If you said tengo for this one, it was a good try. Unfortunately, sometimes there are verbs that don't fit the general pattern, and this is one of them. These are called irregular verbs. To say, I have, the verb changes to tengo.
Yo tengo.
There are reasons and patterns for these changes that we'll learn later. However, for now, just memorize that I have is yo tengo. Estar is another irregular verb. Some of the more frequently used Spanish verbs are irregular and require memory work. Estar means to be. And in English to conjugate this, we say, I am. It's a big change that requires memory in English too. In Spanish, I am is estoy. Yo estoy. Memorize that, and we have more to discuss about this verb later. Great job today. If you've studied all your words up to this point in the playlist, you're ready to move on to your first Spanish story.